Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Monitoring the Situation podcast. This is episode 5, and I'm your co-host Pratik, and I'm with Ian. How are you doing,
Hello.
Ian?
Hey, not bad. How are you doing, man?
It's been good. We missed a couple of weeks because I was in Toronto for a week, and then just couldn't figure out the time to record. But I think we should be pretty on time from this week on, and from next week we will be recording in person. So I'm excited about that. So yeah,
that'll be
is
good.
finally
Get some mics.
Yeah, Mike should be arriving in a couple of days. The weather is getting better finally, so it's not going to be a torture to get out of the house. So
far from it. I've been outside all morning so far.
Yeah, no, it's a nice day. We're recording on May 16th today, so what do you think? What's going on? What do you want to talk about today?
Oh, there's some stuff going on in the world. Going a few different directions. Yeah, there's a few things. Yeah. We're currently in whatever. I've stopped even bothering counting what round of Trump's going to attack Iran again the next 24 hours, but we're in one of them. Which, just look at the oil markets and see who pumped and dumped the some stock, and we'll figure out which one where that came from. Yeah,
and talking about oil, I heard, I don't know how accurate it is, but it might be. My friend texted me the other day saying some of the gas station around PEI, they're out of gas already.
Yeah, I've heard that too. From what I've heard, it has to do with Irving is actually is actually buying oil now from Newfoundland instead of the Middle East, I guess. So there's sort of a bubble in the actual market supply, I guess. That's what I've heard at any rate.
That's
exactly
probably what I thought. Yeah, I think it's just it's like a supply chain situation, probably.
I got my my tires done in my truck yesterday, and then I went to fill it up afterwards, and I shit you not, it cost me more to fill up my damn truck than it did to have the tires put on.
I can imagine. Since I fixed my car, now I've been driving, to places, and the gas is just fucking killing. I can only imagine if, like, my job, like, I don't have to drive every day unless I have to go somewhere, right? But I can only imagine if people who have to drive, to maybe Summerside,
it must be brutal right
whatever. Now. Yeah, people who are having to drive like 100 kilometers per day just to go to their work. It's gonna be rough. I think it's just gonna get worse.
Well, in a related note, the Canadian government recently, I think today, CBC was reporting that it wasn't foreclosures, bankruptcies are up among households since last year.
Oh, wow.
So, like in this quarter or whatever. So that's that's always one of those refreshing signs.
Of course, yeah. No, I mean, it's not surprising. I think it's gonna be hurting really badly. I mean, like you said, they're talking about starting the war within the next 24 hours or something. I mean, if that happens, I think Iran has been threatening the blockade of the Strait of Bab el-Mandeb. I think if that happens, it's going to be even worse.
Oh, yeah. They, to quote Trump, they hold all the cards.
Oh, yeah. They hold all the cards, and I think it was, I forgot which publication it is, but American intelligence they published saying American intelligence, they have concluded that Iran has retained 90% of its underground missile capabilities already. 90% they've recovered. So
that makes sense.
Yeah, I mean the only thing that came out of this 39-day war is just they managed to kill the leadership.
Yeah,
which is a win,
and a whole bunch of people. Yeah,
a whole bunch of people, and then hospitals and schools, and so then I guess, I think at this point, American foreign policy is like clearly being steered by Israel. I don't think there's any doubt about it at this point, because
it really comes down to just how much. How much going back to war with Iran is worth to Israel and their APEC and all that. Like I don't think you can even call the Democrats the opposition at this point, but they've had more than enough ability to stop this war if they cared to. But there's a reason they haven't, and there's a reason that the votes are never quite there for it.
There's always like one or two votes. That just messes things up, which is weird. Like it's always one or two votes. But I mean, it doesn't matter what party it is. It's just unanimously very neocon, war hawkish government.
Yeah,
everyone supports this war, and everyone supports Israel continuing this war, and Israel has its own reason for it, because it wants continuous, destabilization effort. Which, and if the United States is involved, they're bearing most of the cost of that war, right?
Yeah, absolutely. Especially on their reputation. I mean, whatever's left of Israel's reputation, it's the people who are still sticking with them at this point are gonna stick with them. That's a given.
They're openly. Declaring that their goal is greater Israel now. I don't think they're even hiding it.
No, not at all. No, and they may take it in stages or bites, make ceasefires and peace deals here, but for the foreseeable future, we might as well not assume that there's anything but that coming out of them.
Yeah, and it also helps them with. American media or Western media will do the PR job for them. They don't even have to, do anything, because if Americans are involved in this for a long term, because they're the one who has to justify it. Because Israel can just say, "Oh, Iran is an existential threat for us."
Yeah, absolutely, and then
justification.
Yeah, they can cash it in forever. It seems, and it just seems to work every time. It's wild, and I mean, these war hawks usually they don't have a coherent actual policy about these or coherent ideology about these sort of things. But can you even imagine if they're the very rationale that goes into pissing off everybody around you on purpose out of spite, and then being like, look how dangerous they are to us. It's amazing to witness an entire country do it in real time. I mean, even more than Israel already had, which.
And today we talked about it yesterday. We tried to record yesterday before the dogs.
Here, I'll spin the camera around to show you one of the culprits here.
He's just passed out.
Oh yeah, and his brother, the actual villain, is upstairs right now. But I had them outside all morning, so I don't. I'm guessing that's going to be the energy for this.
So let's get into our topics before they wake up.
Yeah, seriously.
So we like we discussed yesterday. One of the topics we wanted to touch on was I think we kind of predicted a few weeks ago when we were one of the episodes. We predicted that this war is going to change the region and the Gulf nation and the Gulf nations, excluding UAE, I guess, because I think UAE is completely being outcasted by everyone at this point.
Yeah.
Gulf countries, and then Pakistan and Turkey and then Oman, they will create some sort of security agreement with Iran. And I think Financial Times yesterday or the day before reported that Saudi Arabia is floating an idea of some non-aggression pact against Iran. So what do you think? Did you see this coming, or did you see the Gulf or Saudis being more aggressive, hawkish? I think there are still. They're not a monolith. They're still probably
there's give and take for sure.
Yeah, there are like some sects of political leadership in Saudi Arabia which wants this war, but I feel like at this point everyone realizes that this war is not good, and the best way forward is to have some sort of security agreement. What do you think about that?
Yeah, I agree. I think all of the Gulf states are all want to succeed over, all countries inherently want to sort of succeed, and if they come at the expense of the others, so be it, is usually the way things go in the world. But I think these countries have come to realize that the only way they can succeed in an area where there's, empires playing games all day, especially the American empire, is to have to really have some sort of their own agenda and their own alliances going on. They see what happens with NATO. They see what and their sort of impunity with which they act. And I think, they're coming to realize that the only people they can rely on are themselves. And I don't think we could have predicted. Certainly didn't predict a non-aggression pact or alliance forming, but I did. I think we definitely predicted that they had destroyed their relationships. The Americans, I mean, in the Gulf. So it's huge. Like the fact that it's a non-aggression pact, which we haven't seen the paperwork on it, but my interpretation from that is that they wouldn't be allowed to use bases to attack, like the Americans wouldn't be able to attack Iran or vice versa from any of their countries, which, that upends the entire American position in the Middle East.
And we also, now recently we saw some reporting saying Saudis were involved in attacking Iran, but it was like a tit for tat. They clearly let Iranians know that where they were going to, they had to probably make it.
UAE as well.
Yeah, UAE as well. I think UAE was more involved, I guess. But I think the Saudis' involvements were like, they just had to make it seem like they responded to. And also, even Iranian strikes compared to other countries in Saudi were very relatively measured and targeting mostly American bases and stuff. So we could see that they were not directly very... the aggression was not there among the two countries, even during the war, as much, of course. But I feel like the agreement, like you said, it will be... Saudis, Iranians don't want Saudis to let their airspace or be used against Iran and stuff like that. And I think Pakistan and Turkey are probably going to be guaranteeing the security agreement. I think those two are the bigger military power.
Yeah, certainly, and in general.
In general, they're the more powerful countries. And have I guess, good relations with both the West and the global South, right? They're in between countries at this point.
Yeah.
So I think that's probably how that's gonna work, and I think it's gonna be a good thing. I mean, not having people get killed is always a good thing, but if the war ends. Fairly quickly, if there is not a lot of destruction, or depending on what the war will lead to, if it's gonna be resumed, but having some sort of security agreement among these countries would always be the best outcome for everyone.
Even if it's just an agreement in principle. Like,
yeah.
Even if it's just like a little, statement of intent that they want to do it, it's still a great sign that they're clearly seeing a path away both from getting involved in America's various antagonisms and just, they're,
yeah.
Yeah, I mean, they're just, they're a large block of large, stable countries that could benefit from it. It's a win-win for them, for everybody involved. And it doesn't mean they won't still have their antagonisms, because, the Saudis and Iranians are, they don't exactly see eye to eye, but they also know that the worst thing for either of them is chaos in the other one,
Yeah, exactly. And I think all the Gulf countries and Saudis and Oman, everyone, they for the past 30, 40, 50 years, they have heavily relied on Americans for their security, which now they saw that there was no security for them. Iran could strike anywhere at any time, and Americans chose Israel over these countries, even though they have heavily invested in United States, their infrastructure, their data center, whatever. They now realize that the best outcome will be some sort of non-alignment sort of situation where they have, regional allegiance rather than depending on Americans and Israel, I guess, because Israel just only wants chaos.
Yeah, they have a vested interest in nobody else succeeding. I mean, they, at least certainly nobody in the area. I think it's interesting. I think it's an interesting pivot for the Saudis, especially because they've been spending so much time and capital and into this liberalizing effort that they've been on for a while now. This publicity effort. You see all the sports events, all these things they're investing so much in. And this pivot is interesting because it's sort of recognizing that maybe, the direction of the Americans isn't the step forward, which, that's been a long 38 days or whatever the war was, if that's the end result.
There were... I think... Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, there was also something else I saw in the. There was a report that came out recently that there was a base built in Iraq in one of the deserts. I'm trying to remember the name of the desert, but I think I'm butcher the pronunciation if I try. But
it was southern Iraq.
Yeah, it was an Israeli forward base that the Americans and Israelis had sort of just installed there to use to attack Iran, and it had. There's some satellite pictures of it now, and then they have an airfield. They have buildings and all sorts of things, and it just goes to show the casualness with which they abuse the sovereignty of other countries in the region, and it's sort of a classic example of why these countries are all getting together the way they are.
Yeah, and why Iraq has been throwing Americans out. I think at this point there are very few American bases left in Iraq, right?
They pulled a bunch out during the Iranian strikes too. I don't even know if they've put them back in yet. So
no,
I don't think
so.
I don't think there's many at all.
There's also new Iraqi government, so let's see how they are going to react to. I think they're fairly friendly towards Iran, I think, but I heard that
something funny about that. Trump congratulated. For the life of me, I should have looked before. He congratulated the new Prime Minister of Iraq, who is still on the sanction list for doing banking with Iran. You just gotta love that Trump level of, I never learned this, and I'm not going to school of politics. It's quite something to witness. Just casually, just.
And also talking about the forward base Israel and Americans were using from Iraq, we can probably see there were lots of strikes against Qatar and Saudi Arabia that Iran didn't claim that it was their doing. Like a bunch of drone striking on oil
Cyprus, I think.
Yeah. Cyprus, at first people thought it might be Hezbollah, but it was Hezbollah didn't have that range of or that kind of technology at the time. So the secret base makes sense to do some sabotage attacks. I think Israel was probably trying to provoke Saudi Arabia and maybe Qatar. Even in Oman, there were like a bunch of strikes on Oman, which like Iran. There's no reason for Iran to attack Oman because that's the only friendly country in the region.
I saw one strike that happened in Oman that I think it is a friendly one, but I think it was the Iranians, and that was a strike that targeted two foreign national security officials in a hotel. And it's like, ooh, I think the CIA got 2 more stars on its wall.
Yeah, was that in Oman, the foreign expats?
Yeah. At one of the times. I think it's happened a few times.
Yeah, I think it was the recent one, like a couple of weeks ago, where you were talking about expats. Yeah. Like, it's such a weird word to use while there's a war in the region and American soldiers are hiding in fucking hotels. You're calling them expats.
Yeah.
And I think it was Reuters or AP, like, more reputable.
As much as they all are.
Those were clearly targeted.
And I don't doubt the Omani government knows that, and I'm sure they're still a bit pissed off at the violation of their sovereignty too. But I think the context is kind of important in that one. I know,
especially since Oman is trying to mediate between everyone. They were trying. They mediated between Ansar Allah and the Saudis, and they even 2022 when Saudis and Iranians were, they had some sort of understanding before, Trump came in and fucked it up. There was some sort of mediation being done by Omanis from among all the sides. But of course,
I think they're considered a trusted party.
Yeah, they're considered a trusted party, and they haven't been. Compared to all the other governments in the region, they're fairly decent, I guess. But it doesn't matter as long as there's Israel in the region. It's never going to be stable, right?
They'll make every effort to make sure it isn't.
Exactly. And also, I also wanted to talk about the Trump's visit to China.
This has been fun.
Oh wow, yeah, this has been incredible to watch. Trump was supposed to go to China, I think, a couple of months ago when the war was happening, or maybe around the same time, and because of war, I think he postponed it, right?
Yeah.
And even this wasn't sure that it was going to happen or not, because there was always a chance of war being resumed. But it happened. It was a couple of days of summit. Trump took all the billionaires, all his buddies, all the pedophiles.
The real cabinet.
And, yeah, exactly. His entourage of probably the worst. I think if that plane would have exploded, I think humanity would have gained a massive W at the point. But,
just the celebrations. It'd be like that scene in the last Star Wars when they're all celebrating because the Death Star blew up. The original Star Wars, anyway. It'd be incredible. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean that's
like he flies in a Boeing too. Like, come on, Boeing,
exactly.
Do what you do best.
Like, come on.
Yeah.
You had one job, Boeing.
Yeah, it'd be like if they put the entire cabinet in a Cybertruck. Like, you know what happens next. Come on, just finish it.
Exactly, just do the job. Not just, their planes only malfunction when it's just regular civilians on them.
Yeah.
But yeah, so it was an interesting one. I think the whole goal was mostly trade, because there wasn't a lot of diplomatic talks, I guess, because I mean there were some,
but not really a ton. Like
not really. I don't think the reason he took all those billionaires, and I mean his whole cabinet is just businessmen and so all the cronies. I think the goal was to get some economic deals, some sort of, which I don't really care about, but there was still some interesting things happened. The talks around Taiwan. Trump didn't seem too keen on helping Taiwan too much, and Democrats are fucking seething right now.
He seems to think Taiwan's too far away.
Which it is.
It's quite far away, and it's quite not far away from China. It's a sort of a big feature of the region.
If I'm not wrong, he actually agreed on delaying some weapon shipments to Taiwan.
I believe so. He certainly said he'd revisit a bunch of sub-weapons deals, I believe, or something along those lines, or future weapons deals. While also saying he doesn't feel like protecting them, which, sometimes, I just want this entire regime and everything about Trump over as soon as possible, whatever happens. But sometimes I just want to see how many different of the most important Western institutions and alliances he can demolish on his way out the door. And this is one just incredible. I do not believe China is going to go and invade Taiwan anyway. I understand why Taiwan would be nervous about it, but they stand more to benefit by having peaceful coexistence and trade with them.
And I think last month Taiwanese delegation went to China and had some sort of agreement saying we're gonna peacefully coexist. Basically, that was the whole point, right? So why would they want to provoke China by getting weapons?
Yeah, there's no vested interest for anyone to start that off. And I can't see certainly I can't see Xi and the Chinese government being that stupid, honestly. I said that about Putin in 2022 though, so I mean
but China is definitely not Russia. They're very smart people.
No. They're playing a very long game.
And they're in much better position than Russia and than every country in the world right now. And of course, there are hardship in every country at this point, but they're the most stable at this point, right? And there's no need for them to start a military conflict where there doesn't need
where they have to occupy a place, and also it doesn't make sense.
It doesn't make sense. War is always a stupid idea.
It's never efficient. I mean, look at Russia and Ukraine. Whoever wins the war, they're going to win a couple hundred or a couple thousand square kilometers of corpse-filled sand, blown up dirt and ruins. Anyway, I don't think.
And also, if China really wanted it, they could have done it when Americans started attacking Iran.
Easily, as easily as it could ever be.
When they started taking out all the anti-aircraft defense systems out of Korea and everywhere in the region, when they started deploying all the aircraft carriers, it was perfect timing. They could have done it, but
couldn't have been better.
Exactly. And United States could have done nothing. Yeah.
Speaking of which, though, also in the news, I think it was last week, but we were busy. But North Korea has decided to remove its intention to unify with the South from its platform, its party platform.
Constitution, I guess, or
its constitution. Yes,
that was interesting.
Yeah. Again, not the response to all these THAAD batteries and American forces being pulled out that the war hawks want it to be, but once again, of the options for the Korean Peninsula that actually are going to happen, in our lifetimes in the near future, it's probably the best one.
And also, talking about North Korea, they have been they're having some economic boom right now, which is good for them. But I saw a very Orientalist, infantilizing headline from. Give me a second. Where is that? From Reuters, saying there has been, like, I'm butchering the headline, I couldn't find it, but there has been a boom of cars, like private cars in Pyongyang, and where it wasn't supposed to be was the headline. Like, it wasn't supposed to be. The North Koreans weren't supposed to be driving in cars, having some, seeing some economic boom. They're like building infrastructures. They're building factories and apartments, especially in rural areas. I think it's mostly partnership with Russians. I think Russians are helping, and Chinese, of course. So, and then removing, the unification with South Korea is a clearly different route than what everyone else in the West is painting North Korea to be. This hermit kingdom. They just wanna.
They always want to shadow box with it. They always want to think. I played a game once. I'm trying to remember. Is a game where you play as an American insurgent, like a Red Dawn scenario, except it's after North Korea has invaded the United States. And the game wasn't that good anyway. I'm struggling to even remember what it was called. But like the depths of like persecution complex and paranoia you have to get for that little place to invade and conquer the United States is one of the funnier parts of the entire game, honestly. Yeah, but it is like that. Like, people are terrified of North Korea. North Korea is just living its life. Like, it is not even militarily stronger than South Korea.
No. I mean, thank God they have nukes.
Yeah, they're still there because they have the nukes.
There would have been, Libya or any other country, Iraq or Libya kind of situation. And they're just trying to survive with all the sanctions and blockade for the past, how many years. And the amount of propaganda trying to paint this country as a boogeyman, all sorts of news headline. 8-year-old kid got executed for watching this Western show or playing this video game. And people believe them, which is the most insane part.
People believe just about anything they read these days. And I guess they always have, but my God, it's bad these days. And the argument I always find with North Korea that has always overlain, at least as far as my thinking is, whatever it may be in the boogeyman nightmares that these people have constructed for themselves, the only thing we need to do is leave them alone. And then we can find out if they actually are boogeymen or a normal country that wants to prosper and not be sanctioned into oblivion. Like, the levels of self-deception people have to get to be so fanatically anti-North Korea. Like they're not a threat to you. Yeah, maybe their human rights record is bad. I don't believe anything I read at this point, but I also am fairly certain that that's true. But maybe it will get better if we stop starving them.
Just remove the blockade. Why are you? It's the same with Cuba, right? This is such a repressive, regressive government. They're not doing well for the people. Communism or socialism is, they're gonna fail. Then let them fail, without a blockade, without a sanction, without blockading.
Then we might believe you. We're not going to, but we might if you leave them alone, and then the best system wins.
Yeah, exactly. Oh yeah, so I found the Reuters story, even in North Korea, someone's in your parking spot is the headline, but then the sub-headline is Pyongyang's once empty roads are now jammed with cars that aren't supposed to be there. Many of them from China. Welcome to Kim Jong-un's automotive revolution. This is such a... What do you mean by that aren't supposed to be there?
Yeah, like, hysterical. Why? Is there do you think there's a law in which they have to ride a donkey cart or something to get to work?
Yeah.
Like what?
Yeah, no, they didn't have cars, or they were struggling because right after the fall of USSR, they had a huge flood, which wiped off most of their agrarian land, and then right at the time they started tightening the blockade, they stopped energy supply, like Americans, because they were saying they're gonna build bombs with those oil. And they had massive famine in the 90s, which they took them almost 30 years to. Now they're finally trying to recover from, even within like such a heavy sanction, and like even like people finally being able to ride electric cars because China has been manufacturing them in such a low prices. Even that is like not what do you say? What do you call the West cannot even allow them that sort of
they can't even
comfort, right?
No, that's for us good people, not you terrible people. Is basically they don't. It's not even like. I mean, yeah, there's still pervasive anti-communism everywhere, but like it's not even ideological at this point. People there's been so much propaganda that just says North Korea bad that people are like, well, obviously North Koreans shouldn't be able to drive cars then because North Korea bad. Like, the amount of propaganda infrastructure you have to put in place in order to put a headline that stupid in a real newspaper and then think anybody should believe it is, or not that they shouldn't believe it, that they should take it seriously, is just staggering.
Yeah. Well, and I think at this point it's it's a simplistic way to analyze something, but it's racism. I don't think there's any thing else like at the same time, remember those stories about how North Koreans having to push the trains by their bare hands, all the defectors or whatever coming out with outrageous claims.
The Kim Jong-un haircut.
Kim Jong-un haircut, which there was literally no... either the sources of those headlines are Free Asia Radio or sources from South Korean spy agency said this. Like, it's all either South Korean spy agency or like Radio Free Asia or whatever CIA funded bullshit, right? And there's literally sources from North Korea say this. It's just very vague sources claiming to be like, they're killing. Like if someone makes fun of the Kim family, they're like I don't know how many generations of their family will be imprisoned or what. Some sort of
it's got to be bullshit. At least 4, to my knowledge. 3 or 4 is what I remember. Like.
Yeah,
I've seen a few variations on that one. It's a classic.
But so what I'm trying to get at is like stories like them, the North Korean people having to push trains and kind of like mocking them or making fun of them, but at the same time when they're now finally being able to drive electric cars, even that is not good. So what is good for you then?
What do you want from these people?
Some things, at least there are some good happening in North Korea, that people are finally being able to drive personal cars. They don't have to depend on all public transit. Like, what's your end goal then? Like, do you want them to be prosperous or not?
Yeah, of course. Let them. It's ridiculous. Like, what is even your ideology if you're like, the regime's so oppressive we can't let them have a tractor? Like,
Yeah.
Like, okay, so let's assume every single thing you've ever heard about the North Korean government is completely true.
Yeah.
What is your ideology? Like, why are you doing that to them? Like, it astounds me. It truly, like, it's yeah.
Yeah, no, this headline just fucking enraged me the other day when I was I was in the office and I was just like fucking angry at this. Like, what do you mean the cars that aren't supposed to be there? What the fuck, man?
Yeah, it's like they don't need to hide it when it's North Korea or Russians. It's the two, like, the most racist they can possibly be, and people are like, well, I mean, you know, it doesn't count because it's about them.
Yeah, exactly. Talking about sanctioning and propaganda against certain countries, I don't know if you saw, Americans are trying to indict Raul Castro for downing the planes. Yeah, they're trying to...
Lovely.
Yeah. They're saying he's culpable of blowing up the planes that were fucking dropping bombs into their countries.
Good? Like,
yeah. That's what every country does, isn't that the whole point?
Yeah, you shoot down planes that are bombing you. It's a whole thing. Just ask your F-15 pilots.
They were literally destroying like agricultural land and stuff for years and years, and they can't even defend themselves.
And also, like, if you say what you will about the American military, they are very good at attacking 80-year-old former revolutionaries, though.
94.
Like, 94. God damn.
Yeah.
That guy. Imagine surviving Batista, the Cuban Revolution, and then getting to 94. Like, holy shit, this guy is invincible. Just about him and his brother both. Like,
yeah, exactly. But also, like, let's say if they capture or kill him, similar to what they did to Khamenei, he's the guy who fought a guerrilla warfare against American-backed dictator, like one of the most brutal regimes, and then survived all these years of cruel sanction, multiple assassination attempts, and then you kill him or capture him at the age of 94. Like, does that gonna look good?
Yeah. Do you feel better about yourself now, or do you look stronger?
How strong are you to imprison or indict a 94-year-old?
He's not even in power. Like.
Exactly, he's not. And the thing is, I think he left the leadership, but like he wasn't even ousted or anything. He was like, yeah, I'm done.
The guy's earned a damn retirement.
Exactly. And I think it was I forgot who, one of the Trump cabinet members. Apparently, I was reading that they were frustrated that Cuban population are not protesting against the government even after all this, oil blockade since the past 4 or 5 months. Like, what are you expecting?
What do you think's
they're
gonna
not
happen?
Stupid.
No, they know why they're under blockade. Yeah, they know why they're under blockade, and they know it wasn't their government that did it. How do you? Like, it always is shocking to me, like, the difference between willful stupidity and not willful, like, and where these guys' lines are, because the brainworms on these people are intense. Like, I mean, RFK's brain got partially eaten by one, which makes sense, but, like, I think that everybody's got them.
Oh, yeah, I think. And also, if you're Cuban, living in Cuba for, throughout the revolution and all these years, and when you see United States allowing oil to private resorts but not to hospitals because they're government owned, then people are not stupid. They're not gonna be like, why is this resort? They have electricity and oil, but not the hospital where my child is being admitted to. They're not gonna be like, because of course United States is looking out for us.
Yeah. Yeah, as it is, From what I gather, I think they rationed it pretty well at this point too. Like they're running out now. From what I've read,
they're running out.
The nice thing about Cuba is that their resorts are also government run.
Yeah.
So they actually were able to just like the relative fuel, because the resorts are super important for the Cuban economy because of
exactly. That's
U.S. money. But I mean, their hospitals are more important, obviously. So. But they
schools and hospitals.
Yeah, they're in probably the hardest times they've had since the fall of the Soviet Union, and unlike that, where they lost their entire economic backing and chief economic trade partner, this is entirely inflicted. This has nothing to do with that. It's pure meanness.
I think it's just Trump trying to save face. He will not be able to do what he did to Venezuela in Iran, so that he is just trying to, compensate that by he will probably try to do some sort of regime change in Cuba. I'm not surprised I will be surprised if he doesn't. But I think I want to talk a little bit more about the Trump. So we kind of got sidetracked. Trump's visit to China, and how, for the first time, like an American leader clearly looked like he wasn't the one who was calling the shots anime.
Oh, the memes have been amazing.
The memes were incredible, and especially when he is trying to justify Xi's statement about the United States being on a decline, and he's like, oh yeah, he didn't mean that. He meant when Biden was in power, it was declining, but now it's the hottest country in the world. That was the funniest
thirstiest thing I've ever seen. So thirsty, my God! Like I love that she calls the Americans a declining empire, basically to their face, and they're like, can't be talking about me, but definitely
no. Of course, he would have said that if when Biden was in power, it was declining. It was declining. It meant that.
Yeah, I love it. There's the great picture of him and Musk and senior Chinese official. I don't remember his name actually, but they're both standing together doing like a salute in front of a hammer and sickle and Chinese flag. And it's just.
It's just the optics are just incredible.
Incredible.
It's I don't know. So and even with Iran, I think that's Trump's words. He said that Xi Jinping told him that China is not going to sell weapons to Iran, but they will keep buying Iranian oil, and Americans had nothing to do, or they couldn't say anything or do anything, because what are you gonna do?
From what I gathered, it wasn't a discussion point. It was we're gonna keep doing this, and fuck yourself if you don't want it.
And also the reason of their visit was clearly economic. They want Chinese investments, so they can't go. They have no leverage. You're taking your billionaires to beg for money. But then, how could you have a upper hand in that situation, right? So it was just incredible to see United States. I think the first sign was when Trump and Putin had the Alaska summit, where they were supposed to end the war, but basically nothing happened.
The thing about Trump is you can get him to do almost anything as long as you're in the room with him. And as long as you can get a word in edgewise, as long as someone with a powerful enough personality can talk over him and succeed, you can get him to do anything you want. Putin walked into that room with, and Trump walked into that room, and then they came out as, it was awesome. It was, I mean, because just seeing the American president so entirely
helpless.
Just the lack of the decline and fall of the American empire vibes that it was giving were incredible for Alaska, and it was even more so now. Like, at least the Chuds could try to argue that he's buttering up Putin to try to get peace or something. This is just pure, we're begging for money and not getting any, or not seeming to get any anyway. Which...
Yeah, exactly. and even if we get investments and all this economic deal, we're not sure that China is gonna cave into our demands and desire about the Iran war or any geopolitical.
Yeah. They conceded nothing.
They conceded nothing. Like the funniest thing was I don't know if you saw the video of they took the American delegation to this this historical garden or something, and then Trump was asking the reporters that if he was the only foreign leader that Xi Jinping had brought, if he was the only leader that he brought to this garden or not, and then everyone said, "Oh no, Putin's been here many times." Like he doesn't want to feel special. Like he just want to. He's just like a child. Which is So that was an incredible. The memes are incredible. The clear. What do you call it?
The power disparity.
Power dynamics now very clear. Like who's leading, who's the rising empire now, and for the first time, I think even the American population are realizing that this is it. The country.
Yeah, it's interesting because they have to stick the dismount between going from a unipolar world where the president just gets to walk in wherever he wants and be the specialist little boy in the entire universe. Whereas now it's not happening yet, but at some point in the near future, he's going to be another world leader. Maybe a powerful world leader, but still fundamentally another one of the world leaders. And I don't think the U.S. administration or public is ready for that realization. They're starting to get it now, but they still think it'll end when they get rid of Trump, as if the humiliation and degradation of their country will stop.
Yeah, the Democratic establishment is living in such a diluted reality that once they get rid of Trump in 2028, it's just gonna go back to business as usual. The liberal democracy will be back. They can restore it. No, that's gone. This is not gonna happen.
Humpty Dumpty's not going back together, guys.
No. Yeah, it's over, and they'll be able to overturn everything that Trump did, which Biden couldn't do anything. Biden was in power for 4 years. No. What did he do?
No, he didn't try to do anything, really.
Exactly, and that was the reason Trump got reelected. But it was interesting, and I think from this episode we decided we're gonna talk about some fun stuff. I think we talked about some serious stuff, I guess, but we wanted to have some sort of fun segment into our episode. It's called Chud of the Week. And who is our Chud of the Week for this week, Ian?
Chud the Builder. Absolutely fine specimen of a Chud, no less.
And
he's an amazing character, this one.
And he just came into the limelight not long ago.
Yeah, I never heard of the guy. I guess he's a right-wing streamer. Yeah, they basically clone themselves at this point. But leaning into Chud the Builder is such an interesting, that's an insult, right, dude? Not Builder, they're good.
Yeah, exactly.
But
I think it was the play on words on Bob the Builder, Chud the Builder.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. He and he's made it into the news because he was charged for, I believe it was threatening to murder someone, and then attempted murder at or right after a court hearing for the first one. So he seems great.
Yeah, well, so people who might not know who this person is, I think a couple of weeks ago, one of the clips from his live stream got viral for saying some racial slurs to, I think, black people or something. And that's all it takes. The reason we wanted to talk about this guy is it's so easy for people to get famous in this algorithmic environment now, that you just say some racist shit if you're white, and then you'll be famous because Twitter will just pump your clips, no matter who you are, no matter how many followers you have. If you're doing some racist and reactionary things, you will be famous. So that's how he got famous. He was just, that's all he was doing, like saying.
It's a path to stardom.
Yeah, that's the move now.
There's a two-phase move. The second part of the move, once you've already achieved your stardom and you're a chud, and now you have to address all the allegations. That's when you become a Christian.
Yeah.
Because then you can be forgiven for it, I guess.
Yeah, exactly. That's the thing. Once things start going south, you just become religious. That's how it works. So he's been charged with attempted murder, and his bond, his bail is at $1.25 million. And I think so. When I was trying to do some research on him, when I was typing his name on Google, the first thing that came was Chud the Builder GoFundMe. That means it's being that's also being heavily promoted. That's being pushed, and you'll probably get the 1.25 million. I mean, there's enough chuds with money.
Oh yeah.
So that's
separating chuds from money's easy.
Yeah, exactly. That's how it works. You just doesn't matter if you try to murder someone. If you're doing it to a black person, you will be fine in this country now. Which is a very scary thing to witness in real time. And he will probably have some sort of media career now.
Certainly, yeah.
Yeah, for depending on how, for a few minutes, depending on how charismatic a person is, because that's how Americans assess if someone's good or not.
And their politics quite often.
Yeah, politics, of course. But yeah, so it's just it's crazy that he's already gotten, I don't know how much it is, but I was reading earlier, he's already gotten more than 200,000 from donations for his bail money. So this is the crazy world we live in.
I just hope he skips bail just for just to fuck the fans over completely. That'd be just funny.
Yeah, exactly.
Because if you're giving money to Chud the Builder to be put on bail, then I assume whatever money you're going to spend, you don't deserve anyway.
No, you don't. There's just if I know, let's say if one of my friends or coworkers, I found out that he was secretly donating to Chud the Builder's bail money, I would have no respect for that person.
Oh no, it's gone. Gone.
The level of how much of a loser you have to be to donate to someone who tried to kill a person, which is this is nuts.
And just nuts. Yeah, he'll probably get some nice defense lawyer, whatever defended Kyle Rittenhouse at this rate.
Yeah, probably. I mean, even the judges are fucking crazy right wings. Remember, there was a guy, forgot his name. He choked a homeless man who was going through some mental episode, and he just killed him in front of all these people.
Ex-Marine on a train. Yeah.
yeah, ex-Marine, and they were like, "Oh, I was just trying to defend." Like, you didn't have to kill the guy, like choke him to death. That's not how you defend people. And I think the judge basically cleared him out because he was apparently trying to save people. I don't know. I wouldn't be surprised if some crank judge gives him maybe a lighter sentence or whatever.
I'm past being surprised by almost anything at this point. Like, it's although I will say, Mother Nature herself is trying to achieve the balance, though, because a brown recluse spider stung Kyle Rittenhouse, and he ended up in hospital because it causes necrotizing and stuff. And I just thought,
my God.
Thank you, Spider. Well done.
Oh, yeah,
wholeheartedly on Team Spider at this point.
Exactly. Karma works in a mysterious way.
Yep.
Yeah, no. That's
from what I've heard, also the spider was just defending itself anyway. So it's self-defense. Yeah.
Yeah. No. Full power to the spider community. We support your cause, and you should keep biting all these chuds. I think.
Have you heard of the?
Yeah.
I was just gonna say, have you heard about the martyrdom dolphins yet?
Oh my God.
Yeah, just another one of the if you believe this, please touch grass and step away from the internet.
Yeah,
but the story is that the Iranians imported from Ukraine, which received from Russia when the Soviet Union fell, suicide attack dolphins with mines on them that attack boats.
Yep. And
I don't have animosity for people who believe this, but I do think they should go outside for a while.
Yeah,
in an era of we're going to we have some of the most sophisticated drones in the world. We're going to spend half a decade training a dolphin to become a suicide bomber is possibly the stupidest thing I've heard this week.
Yeah, look at the Hezbollah drones, the new fiber optics drones. How cheap that is. Why would you spend time and effort and money to train dolphins?
Unless the dolphins themselves are training each other to do it, and in which case, once again, I support the cause of Comrade Dolphins.
If they're radicalized because of American imperialism on their own, which dolphins are very intelligent creatures.
It's their prerogative. Yeah,
exactly. I will support that, but it was such a stupid, it's just that Americans are still at the. Their brain capacity is still it's the same since the 60s when there was a huge the Manchurian candidate propaganda bring all
the
this
propaganda stunted their reasoning
whatever part of the brain that processes reasoning and logical fallacies or whatever, it's not working since the communist propaganda, and now it's all it's the same thing transferred to the Muslims, the Judeo Bolsheviks and the communist mind program, brainwashing program, whatever. Now it's all Muslims now. It's just
well, actually, now that since you mentioned it, actually, I've been rereading Rise and Fall of the Third Reich by William Shirer, who's a journalist in Berlin right when Hitler took power. And he said in his journal that he stopped trying to argue with these people because even these people that he thought were smart, educated, intelligent Germans were so baked in by this point that it was impossible to reason with them, and they'd get upset with you. And, he's a journalist, so he's trying not to piss off his sources more than he had to. So he's just I give up. Yeah, that's a massive Jewish communist conspiracy, buddy. Okay, because it just and I can only imagine. And we don't need to imagine.
Yeah, and now unironically, people are saying it's Islamo-communist.
Oh yeah, I mean it sounds all right.
It sounds fun. I wouldn't mind.
Yeah.
That sounds pretty sick. the Shia Catholic Communist Alliance. we're here for it. Since the Pope is pretty fucking based. I didn't know that.
Yeah, he's for a Pope, he's pretty good. Like he's still like clearing the bar of for a Pope is a tough one, but yeah, he's at least dragged the Catholic Church into the 20th century at any rate.
Yeah,
maybe
exactly.
not beyond that, but like solidly into the 1900s.
Yeah. Well, I'm not surprised. Of course, I'm surprised. He's a pope, so being even remotely woke is a nice thing. But like, he's an American. He's an American pope. I wasn't expecting
Pope,
it. I thought he was gonna be some sort of reactionary, crank pope. But then, well, I mean, to be fair, he spent most of his life in Peru, so he had some.
Yeah, he got some baseness from there, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah. I when he said American Pope, I was picturing like this like Catholic priest from Boston with like the most intensive Boston accent you've ever heard.
Yeah. So that was that's been a pleasant surprise in the world full of chaos and the worst people rising into prominence. But yeah, I think this is it. This has been a good episode.
Yeah, it has.
I think we can end it here.
Sounds like a plan. Good talking to you, buddy.
Yeah, always. Then we'll probably see each other next week in person.
Yeah,
hopefully.
And then we can monitor the situation in person.
Exactly, that's what we're doing all day, every
day.
Exactly. All right, then we'll see you and everyone else next week. Have a good one.
See you guys.